Hello, welcome to episode 59. My name's Julie from Salessewunique and welcome to this week's episode. I will pop all the links down below where you can find me on social media. I am most active on Instagram. I have a website and I have an Etsy shop for handmade goods. Firstly, I must apologise for not posting a video last week. But as I've said before, my mother-in-law's not been very well and she's still not being very well. I think it was Monday, Monday, we had to have the doctor out again to her and they gave her more antibiotics because they didn't think the infection had gone. She didn't have the best of weeks. Obviously, most of us in the family were visiting or phone calls. I get lots of phone calls. Some days I got 5 phone calls a day from her because she just wanted someone to talk to. But no, she didn't have a very good week. Then Monday came, she wasn't very well. Then Tuesday, 8:30, I get a phone call in the morning. She was still in bed and she was really off it. So I said I'd go up. Our other son was going up as well, but he couldn't stop. He was off. He had to go and do some jobs. So I went up and stayed with her all day, and we had the doctor out again. But this is probably one of the doctors she sees at the clinic, and she's got to have a scan. It's a diverticulous disease problem, and she's got lots of little things, nothing life-threatening or anything, but it's just lots of little things. So she has got to see a surgeon at some point, not for operation or anything, just because it's his field of expertise, so we can have a look at all the scans and see if there's anything that can be done. But I've spoken to her today and she seems a lot better in herself. I mean, yesterday, yes, she was in bed until after the doctor had been, and she'd had something to eat, but she didn't have a lot to eat, but she was starting to feel a little bit better. So she got dressed, came downstairs, had a cup of tea and stuff, and then the pain started coming on again. So she was taking some paracetamols, but the doctor said he would give her a paracetamol codeine mix, I think, that was a little bit stronger. So hopefully they will have turned up today and it'll help. But I have spoken to her today, and like I say, she seems better in herself. So things have settled down. So last week, by the time I'd finished and it was Tuesday and it was time for me to vlog, I was absolutely shattered. I was worn out and I just had Tuesday to myself this week. Last week I had Tuesday to myself. I've got to get my days mixed up here. I had Tuesday to myself and just sort of caught up on a few jobs. And then I thought I'd planned on filming yesterday for this week's vlog, and then obviously I had to go out, so I'm thinking, I might not get anything done this week, but I thought, no, I've got to try and post something. So this vlog's going to be probably a little bit odd, probably a little bit different from normal. I have been doing odd bits in between, obviously visiting my mother-in-law and doing everything else, and I've got a list here of sort of everything that I've been doing. So I think what I'm going to start with today is my tea, because obviously I'm a bit behind now. So this is my second tea, and it's a Rooibos Earl Grey. It's caffeine free and it's great with or without milk. So you've got your rhubarb, you've got mallow flowers, blue corn flowers, bergamot oil, and that's the packaging. I'll show you what it looks like inside. It's very fine, and you can see these little blue flowers there. So it looks very, very pretty. It's got a nice smell to it. I can't sort of tell you what the smell is, but it does smell nice. And this is my tea in my new Emma Bridgewater mug. I've got the mug and I've got the little plate. I bought this a few weeks ago and I've just kept it away until it was autumn. Obviously we're now in autumn. It's got a pleasant smell to it. This is something I could drink. It's not going to replace my Yorkshire tea, of course, but I would definitely drink this again. It is very nice, very refreshing cup of tea. So I have got one more tea to share with you, which I will do later on in the vlog. Mine's just getting a bit cold now. Right, well, obviously this week, what with everything, this fortnight I should say, with everything happening, the next picture you're going to see is Milo. Daddy was poorly, so I've got to take Milo out for his walk, and he'd got his harness on, and he was sporting his lovely grey little sweatshirt hoodie, and he looked so sweet in it. So it kept the chill off him, so that was good. That was a nice walk, so that sort of got me out of the house a bit and gave me a bit of fresh air, blow the cobwebs away, so to speak. But really, I suppose this last fortnight we've been doing sort of a few jobs in the garden, putting the beds to sleep, and I've been preserving some of the foods that we've got and some other bits that I've bought. So the first thing I preserved was some tins of orange and a lemon marmalade. Now, I bought these a while ago. I've got several in my cupboard, and I thought it would be cheaper for me to do marmalade like that, because I wasn't sure when Seville oranges were out, and I thought it might work out expensive. So I've tried this, and I've had some. It tastes really nice, so I'm looking forward to making the rest up at some point. Not now, because my cupboards are getting pretty full. So the next clip you're going to see is of the orange and the lemon marmalade being done. And now I've been out in the garden, and the pictures that you will see are what the tomato bed looked like, and I decided it was time to pick all the tomatoes. I'd got a few red tomatoes, and I picked all the green tomatoes, and I think I'd got nearly nearly 5 kilos. I think I've got about 4.8 kilos of green tomatoes. So I did some green tomato chutney, and I think you need, was it 2.5 kilos per sort of recipe of green tomato chutney. So I managed to get 2 lots done. So that was done over 2 days, because like I say, it's quite time consuming that. So 2 days, and Kevin doesn't like currants or things like that, sultanas, that's it. And another alternative is dates or apricots. So we got some dates, so I made that batch up. Tastes nice. I think I've got 10 jars there, different sizes. And then the next day I made up the weight with a few sort of reddish tomatoes, and we put apricots in, and this one was a little bit sweeter. So in total I have got 20 jars of green tomato chutney in various sizes. And I don't like a chunky green tomato chutney, so it got the hand blender, I sort of processed it so it was smooth, and I tasted it. There was one little jar there, and I thought, I'm going to taste this. You're supposed to leave it for, I don't know, up to 2 months really to let it mature, but I had to taste it, and I have to say it was really, really nice. So I can't wait to taste it again when it's matured. So it's all packed away in the cupboard now, so I am not touching it until December, and we'll see what it's like. But from previous sort of chutneys, the green tomato chutney is always very, very nice. So yeah, 20 jars should last us until this time next year. That'll be good. Because we can use it with other things. You don't have to have it on like cheese on toast or with crackers or anything. You can have it with salad and your quiche. So very nice. So that is going to be the next bit of footage that you're going to see. So I hope you enjoy that. And the next bit of footage you're going to see is the garden, I think, as it is now. We cleared out, or I say we, Kevin cleared out the tomato. Well, I cleared out the tomatoes out of the bed. That took me, or it must take me a couple of hours to do that and get all the tomatoes off. So I did that, and I pulled out what tomatoes I could do, and there were 2 plants that were actually, I don't know, they must have been deep rooted in the ground, because I had to let Kevin do that. So he dug the bed over, put a bit of compost in it, and then I got some more mulch. So we put mulch on the top of that bed. Then the big bed, I took a lot of the plants out of the big bed because I've decided I want to grow more vegetables next year. So a lot of the lavender plants have gone into tubs. The strawberry bushes, I had 2 strawberry bushes at the back, we're just getting covered with the other plants, so we're getting smothered. So they've gone into their own tub, so they have got a bit of room. They're not looking very good at the minute. They look a bit wilted, but I'm hoping that they will come back next year. Excuse me. I'll just have a quick drink. All the strawberry plants have all been tidied up. I took all the babies off, so all the strawberry plants are now stacked up in their tower, and all the babies have gone into their own pots. So we've got a few new plants for next year, which is good. The rhubarb bed is still as it is. I haven't touched that yet, so who knows? I'll try and get to that as soon as I can. Then the next bed has got the flowers in, which I am keeping there. I just need to get 1 or 2 more plants to go in there because I've had to take some out. There's been 1 or 2 plants that didn't do very well, and one that I didn't like. It grew too big and it just overpowered the bed. And then the last bed, which is nearest the house, that's in the process of being cleared out because that one's going to be emptied out, and we'll get some it'll get dug over, get some mulch, more mulch put on. But I've got a couple of plants in there and they look like they've really bushed out, so they've got to come out. I might put them in the front garden, I'll see. I need to find out what they are first, and I think there's going to be some little flowers coming, but like I say, I need to wait. So that bed will be done. One of the clematis I lost, I think, with the hot weather, and the other one I've taken it out of the ground, and that's gone in a tub and it stood outside the back door. So I've trimmed that down a little bit, so I'll probably have to cut it down a little bit more when the leaves have died off, but that should come back next year and look really healthy. I think the next thing I've got to do, I've got the raspberry and the blackberry bush in the big bed, which I want to take them out and put them into pots so it doesn't take over the garden. But we've had some autumn raspberries and they are yellow and they are really nice, they're really sweet. So I've just picked them off the bush today, which you will see. And yeah, those bushes came from Morrison's, I think, so they didn't cost very much and they're doing really well. So I just hope they're okay when I transplant them. So that is the next clip, well, next few clips that you're going to see. And I've been preserving some onions. I've pressure canned some just ordinary onions. I haven't cooked them or anything, they just went in a jar with some, I think it's water in there. And then I made some more caramelised onions. So I've got big jars of caramelised onions, which I ran out of small jars, didn't I? So, but the thing is, Adele makes a lovely risotto. We usually have a vegetarian risotto, and she does use caramelised onions in there, so the work's been done for her really, because caramelising onions does take a long time. So that's something else I've been doing. I ended up with, what did I end up with? I think I've got an overflow of onions really. I think I ended up with about 4 kilos of onions, so I thought I better do something with these. So yeah, so it was jars preserving and everything. That's what I've been doing, and I just pressure can them, I think. So they're in the cupboard now, ready for over the winter. So that is going to be the next sort of clip that you're going to see. And we're still on preserving. I decided I wanted to make some more beef stew, and I'd put some beef in my in my shopping list, like, and when it came to it, I hadn't got any large jars. So I thought, because I wanted to do some sort of litre sized jars and I'd used them all. So I thought, right, well, I better go and see if I can find some more jars. So that's another purchase I've had over this last fortnight, and they came, but I had to sort of get on and use my meat up. So what I decided to do was to do just beef and onions in a jar. So I've used the smaller pint jars. So that's all ready for me to make some dinners up, so I can actually just add the carrots and the other veggies that I want to do. So I can turn it into a beef stew. So that's going to be the next little clip you're going to see. And then I decided I needed to preserve some more potatoes because I've used everything that was in my cupboard, and it has made life so much easier when you are preparing meals or you want to roast some and you're short on time, so all the jars have gone. So I made a few more jars up of preserved potatoes, so I'm going to try and not use them so much so I can keep them for like over the winter, but I have to say they're very nice. And then when I was clearing sort of out my fridge this week for my shopping to come, I'd ended up with a load of carrots left, and I'm thinking, oh my word, I've ordered some more carrots. Anyhow, I went through the box and there was one or two that were past the best, so I put them in the composter. And what was left, I thought, well, what can I make? And I was thinking, I don't really want to make carrot soup. I'm sure I don't like carrot soup. I'm sure I've made it before and I wasn't keen on it. So Adele suggested carrot mash, so I thought, oh, that's a good idea. So I peeled all the carrots and chopped them up. I chopped up 2 small onions. I'd got a bag of, it wasn't butternuts, got sweet potatoes, and I put a jar of my preserved potatoes in, and I put some salt and pepper in, some herbs in, 3 vegetable stock cubes, and I cooked them all up in a big pan, and then I pured it with my hand blender, and it tasted really, really nice. So what I decided to do was to have a vegetarian shepherd's pie. So as I was out yesterday at my mother-in-law's, I said to Adele, do you think you can put one together and pop it in the oven for me? So she did. So that's what we had last night for tea. And there's still some more carrot mash in the fridge, which will come in useful a bit later on in the week when we have sausages. I'm not sure what I'm doing with the sausages, but it'll come in useful as another meal. So you're going to see 1 or 2 clips of that. And the next clip you're going to see is a little bit of machine embroidery. I had an order on my Etsy shop for a lace white hedgehog, so I thought I would share that little bit with you. So that's obviously all gone to its new home, and it sort of made me think, oh, I need to do a little bit more machine embroidery. So I have got my embroidery machine out when I went to work today. So I oiled it all up, cleaned it all out and everything. So then I'm thinking, well, where's my foot pedal? Oh my word, what have I done? I've lost my foot pedal. And I've searched all my boxes, everything. And I just sat down and I looked at the machine. I was having a cup of tea and I'm thinking to myself, Nana, you don't have a foot pedal for an embroidery machine. So I'm thinking to myself, I've wasted an hour looking for a blinking foot pedal. Oh dear, I think I need an early night. I shouldn't be allowed out, really. Excuse me a minute. Sorry about that. That was Kevin phoning me. He's on his way home from work now. So it's going to be about an hour. So I've got enough time to continue with my video before I have to make tea. Do you know, I've forgotten. Oh, the embroidery machine, yeah. So I'm doing a little bit of work at work, doing embroidery. And then I've got some bits to do for Adele. So I will share that with you another time, but what you're going to see next is my hedgehog in the making. And the next clip you're going to see is all my autumn decorations in the kitchen on my tier tray and that. Now I actually did this a fortnight ago. That's as far as I got. I took some film and obviously that's it. So I thought, well, I'll share that with you today. And it's all just autumn stuff. It's all autumnal. There's no sort of Halloween there. I've got a new pumpkin teapot, I've got my pumpkin mugs out, I've got obviously my autumn theme mug on the mug tree that you're seeing. You'll probably see the little plate there. It doesn't look quite as tidy now as it did back then because Adele has bought 2 big pumpkins. I think one's a cookie jar. I'm not sure what the other one's for, but it's clear, so she's put that on there. So I'm sure she'll probably be showing that in her vlog at some point. But yes, I really enjoyed that. So yes, I managed to get everything packed away. So yes, it all looks very, very autumnal. So I'm really pleased with it this year. So I hope you enjoy looking at the clip. And I've just made myself another cup of tea. This is the last tea for September, and this one is called Cacao Banana Cooler. And it's tropical whole fruit blend, pineapple, papaya and passion fruit. And you've got apple pieces, hibiscus, rosehip, air-dried pineapple, sugar, orange peel, natural flavourings. You have it without milk, and it may contain traces of nuts, and it's caffeine free. So let's open it up and have a smell. I haven't had a smell at it yet. Oh, that certainly smells fruity. You can smell the pineapple. Oh, that's lovely, that. So that's how it looks. Let's see if I can, there we go, that looks better. That looks very nice. And let's have a taste. So it's a red tea. Smells fruity. Smells nice. That tastes quite nice. That it's not sweet. There's a sharpness to it, but it is nice. Yes, I like that. Yeah. I'm going to sit that there now so I don't knock my cup over. Right, now we're on to the crafty things. Not a lot's happened over this fortnight in the way of crafting. By the time I've done everything else, I've just been tired now. I just haven't had the inclination to do anything. But I did do some on the cross stitch last week, I think it was. I'm just trying to see if I can find it. So this, that's not the right thing, that's the chart. I can't show you that. There we go. So that's better. This is the chart from Tracy Campbell Designs off Etsy. So it looks very nice. So mine's coming along now. The pieces that I've got left to do, as you can see, I've done a reasonable amount inside here, but all these little pieces here, I've got several different colours in, so that means I have to concentrate. So that means I can't be doing this in an evening when Kevin's at home, because, you know, all the chattering between us, I end up making mistakes. So I think probably what I might do is try and have a little bit of time when I get in from work each day, if possible, and see what I can do. So hopefully this will be finished in the next couple of weeks, I'm hoping. And then I've got to decide oops, what I'm going to put, lettering I'm going to put round here. So yeah, so like I say, not a great deal of progress, but it is getting there, and it will be finished soon, which I'm looking forward to doing something with it. I'm not sure what I'm doing with it just yet, but I'm sure inspiration will strike at some point. Right, I'm just going to have a sip of tea. Oh, very nice. Right, well, these socks, I don't know. I don't think these socks want to be finished at all. I think last time, oh, I'm losing my stitches. I think the last time I showed these, I hadn't done the heel turn, and I'd done the heel flap, and then I went and picked up round the gusset. And I think I'd done a couple of rounds. That was it. And then when I come to show you what I'd done, I'd realised I hadn't put the heel turn in. So the next day I took them to work, and I sat there, I unpicked them, I got my heel turn in, and I've just finished off the first colour, and I've got onto the second colour there. And I tell you what, I go wrong on every pattern row. I get halfway around the sock and I think I haven't decreased, so I have to unpick and start again. But yet again, obviously my concentration level is not very good at the minute, so I suppose having the TV on in an evening and talking to Kevin is not helping. So I keep thinking to myself, now normally I can knit the gusset and I don't have any problem. So I don't know what's going off really at the minute, but I keep thinking, shall I just put them away again and do something else? But then I think, no, they've been in the naughty corner for long enough. They really need finishing. So I'm just going to keep going and do my best and try and get these blinking things off the needle. So really, that's all I have sort of managed to do this week. Not a lot, I know, but I'm hoping there'll be more crafting coming next week. I will show you what I'm going to be working on. Oops. I've got to make some samples up for the shop. So what I decided to do, I've got an advent calendar, and it's this one, and it's just all these lovely designs, and it's put together completely differently to the other advents that I've done. So I think what I will do is I'll just share with you how I put it together. So that'll be coming soon. So that's really all I've done. So yes, so this is the last vlog for September, and it's the 1st of October on Saturday. So I must admit, I did think that I wouldn't be doing Vlogtober this year with everything that's been happening, but then I've thought about it and I think, well, I can't put my life on hold for things, because, you know, mother-in-law will be okay. Her bouts of this diverticular disease will settle down. So I am going to do Vlogtober. So if I am missing for a day, you will know why, because I'll be up with my mother-in-law because she's had a flare-up. But I'm hoping that we have a settled October. So I hope you will join me for Vlogtober, and I will see you all on Friday. I'm quite looking forward to it. And yeah, so it's going to be fun. There's going to be some nice, I'm going to do a bit of baking, a bit more baking probably throughout October. I'm going to do the pumpkin bread, which is actually a cake. And I think one of the first things I'm going to do is my spiced apple cake that I've got a recipe from the 80s, if I can find the magazine. So that will be the first thing. So I am really looking forward to that. So like I say, I hope you will join me on Saturday for the first day of October. And I'd just like to say thank you for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed the vlog. I know it's probably a little bit different to normal, more sort of gardening preserving, but that's sort of what I've been doing over the last fortnight. And I hope everybody has a lovely rest of the week. And yeah, like I said, I will see you Saturday. So thank you for joining me, and bye for now.